All right, peace and blessings. Give me like 2 seconds and we're gonna get started. Well, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
Walaikum salam.
salam.
Today we're gonna get into a little bit about this fast that I've been doing, and I had to get on here and do this live because it was so inspiring. All of the different results that I've been getting from it. I know we've talked about doing fasting, water fasting, and things of that nature, right? And I tried the water fast for like a day and I couldn't do it, right? So what I ended up doing was I ended up eventually doing an all fruit fast. And I just started I was doing the watermelon fast, right? And so what I noticed, man, after a couple of days, I wasn't hungry. I lost like 2 pounds, and it just continued from there. You know what I mean? So I started adding on more fruit. I added on some melons. I added on the honeydew. I added on pineapple. I added on a few other fruits. And so by the fifth day, I kind of felt a little famished, and I ate a salad, and the salad was like it was so heavy to my stomach. It was so heavy. So I cut the salad back and I got back on the fruit, and I just started feeling lighter and feeling better. I had more energy when I got back on the fruit. Okay. So by the 13th day, weighing myself, I was down 17 pounds. When I went to the doctor, just to kind of back up a little bit, when I went to the doctor for to get my knee checked out, we talked about that. I want to get an x-ray done on my knee. And that particular day, I found out that my blood pressure was over 200 and my bottom number was like around about 140 something. Okay. And that was enough motivation for me to do the fast because my blood pressure was up. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get off of these blood pressure pills. That's motivation. So along the way in this fast, the pain in my knee started going away. Okay. I'm like, wow, what's going on here? So kind of tell me a little bit about from y'all experience, just a little bit about what is this that I'm experiencing? Why am I now being relieved of this pain? My blood pressure is now lowering as a result of my fast. Is it because I'm losing the weight? Is it because of the inflammation? Is it because of the elements within the fruits that I'm eating? What's going on here? Please help me understand.
Um, I would say all the above, right? But the first thing that you mentioned, right? It's like you say you tried to fast for a day, right? And so it's like just about impossible, right? We are given so many different terminologies as we age, right? But we never look at the things in context, right? You said willpower, right? Willpower is like self-control, self-regulation. But we thinking like this is just a strength that we're just supposed to naturally have. And that may be so. But there are 6 regions of the brain that govern willpower. Those areas, whether it's the prefrontal cortex, your anterior cortex, the basal ganglia, and others, when any of those take a hit because of mineral deficiency, right, your willpower strength is going to lessen. It's going to decrease. And so we're thinking that we tempted to do something, we just gave up on it. Mm-hmm. But in all aspects, going inside of ourselves, we see that there are other areas that are lacking, that we're not actually getting the proper strength to actually back that willpower, to back that self-control or self-regulation.
I agree. You said the effects of your fast. Mm-hmm. You noticed your pain went down. Of course, your blood pressure regulated, and then you basically had better quality energy. So it's almost like a whole body rejuvenation, just from the experience with like losing weight and gaining weight, you'll automatically feel better, just not having so much to hold on to all day and carry around all day. you know. So the fruit itself is like an instant revitalization of the vitamins, minerals, nutrients all at the same time. What I will suggest is that you kind of find the pairs that go together to support your fats, your carbohydrates, and your protein. That way you ain't just losing weight and now you losing weight, but think about your muscle. You need the fit. You need to be able to feel like your muscles in your chest kind of pulling back to the bone and pull your underarm back. Because you notice people that are big lose a lot of weight and then they have like this flab that moves with them. Mm-hmm. That's the disproportion of your proteins and your fat. You know, the carbs, you don't have to worry about them so much because they'll find somewhere to stick if you put them with the right group. But you're not physically just gonna like slim down. That's not how it happens. The body, once you put on that weight, all of that extra accumulative, like this fabric, unless they cut this off, it's not being tapered. So you want to start kind of tapering it, and then, but you can do that with foods. There's certain foods like enzymes and proteins they bind together in the body. So you just gotta find your pairs. And I can't tell you which ones because our palates are different. Like you might not like pineapples every day.
I love pineapples.
Every day?
Every day.
Oh, it tears my mouth up. I'm probably 2 days and it'll tear my mouth up. So I'm going from a pineapple, maybe a slice of papaya every once in a while, and a kiwi. And I can mix those three for my enzymes. But I can pair them with like a pea salad or legumes. I love lentils, mushrooms, like just the pairing of certain things together make the proteins that the body can use.
Now, I bought some red lentils today. So what would you say would pair well with the red lentils?
Right. You got some bell peppers.
Right.
You got some onions. You got a piece of garlic. You don't need a whole clove. Just a little bit. You can make a soup. You can make a stew. I like them like once you cook them, like make a salad. So you literally take you don't even need no lettuce or spinach, kale, none of that. I mean, you can if you want to, but take the legumes and build your salad with them. Like almost like how we like a chicken Caesar salad.
Okay. Got you. So
make the legumes to start.
Now let me ask you this, because the legumes, the lentils that I'm about to partake in now, are they gonna add weight to me, or is it gonna kind of help me plateau my weight? Because I've lost several pounds, but I don't want to go backwards. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because they're more heavier than the fruit.
That willpower thing, right? So that's like saying I myself, I like to work on my weight, you know what I'm saying? We're getting up there in age a little bit, right?
A little bit.
So right. How is your day? I mean, when you eat, do you eat and sit down? Do you eat and lie down? Do you eat and rest? Do you eat and because that's when it sits on you, right? The body should be mobile while you actually consume it. You understand what I'm saying? When you shouldn't just go eat, lie down. That should be at least 15 to 30 minutes. Let your food digest first. Because if not, those default pockets of your body, right, are going to absorb some of that stuff, and it's going to turn it into fat.
Right.
And you're going to gain weight. So, it's like a lot of times we go to the gym, we work out, and we just work out and work out and work out, but it seems like we'll lose a little bit, but we'll lose 2, gain 5. Lose 2, gain 5. And we're thinking that it's muscle, you know what I'm saying? We say the willpower, but the willpower is not being adequately used. Yeah, we are aware of what we're doing. So in all aspects, we're getting this temporary high, so to speak. Oh, yes, I'm working out. Yes, no, so I'm getting stronger. But the body, right? It isn't having the same conversation that you're having. Inside your body, right? Your heart is like, okay, look, I got a little pressure, on my arteries, and the kidneys is like, please, I know he's drinking a lot of water, but that's a process. How much water does the body take every day? How much does it process every day? Because sometimes we drink too much water, and then a lot of times we want to just go work out, just drink water, drink a whole bunch of water. You can hurt yourself that way. You have to really know if this journey of this self-awareness that we're partaking in, right? It's supposed to come with a better cognitive shift. We shouldn't go from being sick a week to being sick 2 days and think that that's okay.
We have a self-regulation.
Yes.
Self-regulation. Self-regulation. We need to learn that. I'm going to repeat it a couple more. Self-regulation. because we just think that we can change and everything is going to change in the direction that we want, but we're not regulating it. There's no balance. So in changing your whole diet, then you need to change all your habits that follow eating, that follow your resting, that follow your interactions, like your levels of intimacy, whether it's walking, whether it's jogging, whether it's hiking, and I did label those intimacies because people don't seem to think that getting out in nature is intimate. It's like, it's always got to be adventurous.
It's intimate.
It can be intimate. So changing it up a lot, but centering your food too around what you want to do. I personally, my diet is centered around what I plan on doing in a day.
Right.
So food, mentally, you know what I mean?
So let me tell you is a little bit about how my day has morphed over these past like 9-10 days. All right. So I don't know if y'all noticed, but these past couple of days I've been getting up early. I always get up usually roughly around about 4:30, somewhere in that area. And but anyway, so the past couple of days I've been going to the mountain, and I get there roughly around sunrise time. And it's a nice little brisk walk. Y'all been there to the mountain, so you know what that is like, right? So, but I don't eat anything until 12 p.m.
Okay.
I don't eat anything. If I do have anything, it's going to be something to drink, right? But other than that, I take my blood pressure pill, and then I go for a walk. 12 o'clock, I'm going to eat something, maybe 2 o'clock. And then I don't eat anything past 6 p.m.
Okay. So you're intermitting?
I'm intermitting, and it's only fruit. 100%. Well, yeah, pretty much. I say it's 90, it's 70, it's really 80% fruit. And then I add in a little salad, and then I added in a couple like some peanuts or whatever, something like that to kind of hold me over, whatever. But there has been days where I've only eaten a avocado.
Okay.
And that's it for the entire day.
Okay.
I've been doing my push-ups. My hand is back better now. I've been doing push-ups. I'm up to like probably about 25, 30 a day.
Okay. How did knee doing?
My knee, well, for the most part, I can walk up the steps. I'm not feeling the pain anymore. But when I can kind of tell when I'm at the mountain, I'm overdoing it just a little bit. So I slow down. I don't move as fast because at first I was moving real fast through the mountain, and I'm feeling good. The pain is gone, and then there it is. It's starting to creep back on me. So I just like, let me slow down just a tad bit. So I'm probably gonna take a break tomorrow, about another day or two, just to kind of not overdo it, and then I'm gonna get back out there. Probably just go maybe every other day, something like that. But just try to do something. But go ahead.
You mentioned that, right? Going back to that self-regulation, right? Oftentimes, when we we could be a 2. Let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Our energy centers could be a 2, right? But we get excited, right? That excited, we draw that energy from the ethers, right? But our body, right, is still on that 2. No matter how much our mind is on that 10, our body's on that 2, right? So when we take that hit usually puts us in a negative. It'd be different if our body was on an 8, and then we take a hit, and then when we say on that, when we on that calm down, that let down, when we actually gradually that regulation is balancing itself back out, right? So now, we on a 1. So we're sleepy and everything, because a lot of times we have for the vast majority of us, most of us are emotional eaters. And when we do that, right, so especially those of us that grow up in different areas, sugar's our thing, right? Sugar's that drug that we use, right? And it gives us that temporary fix, right? But the body's like, okay, you do know, right? Because your liver, right, and your kidneys, right, take that sugar hit the hardest.
The adrenals.
Yes.
Not your friend.
They're not your friend.
The adrenals will take you out.
So
they sit on top of the kidneys.
Yes.
And they don't regulate themselves. They need the kidneys and the liver and the spleen. They need all the other parts to say, yo, I need you to move, push. Right. So, but if you don't send the right stuff, it's not.
So kind of build on that just a little bit. When you say that the adrenals, they need to be moved, what you're saying here, what is it? What does that really look like? What should I be doing?
So,
Okay, let's look at the process, the procedure behind the adrenals, right? Let's look at that process as far as like if the adrenals is right here,
can't see that.
there's a thing that we call a DMN or default mode network, right? In your neurological center, right? It's the pathway that all the energy processes go through. It's your base root telecommunications, right? So when signals are sent, right, and you're getting half a signal, you're getting too much of a signal, it's overcrowded. What happens is the different centuries or different gateways inside your body, whether it's your liver, the message that you were supposed to give to your liver, it went to your heart.
Okay.
You know, and now you got an issue because it ain't now you ain't got high blood pressure. Now you got low blood pressure. Do you get what I'm saying? So now when you have a low blood pressure, different frequencies, different energies are being pulled, or what we say different minerals are different pulled. You got the little guy that goes through the body, he got a whole truckload of minerals, right? And he got an ingredient list. He said, well, the heart needs this many, the lungs need this many, the kidneys need this many, the colon. But by the time he get to the heart, you deplete it in other areas so bad. So he get to the heart like I need like 8 minerals. He's like, I ain't got 2. You understand what I'm saying? So now you not only in a default, you don't went beneath the threshold. And now your body's gonna respond. Your body's gonna manifest exactly what you give to it. This is the area. So when you're looking at those different nodes or processes, this is the part about those processes, understanding how we got here. The breadcrumbs. The breadcrumbs would take you back your memory cycle on how you got where you're going. When your knee started hurting, right? You went back and said, well, how did I do this? Right? You didn't think, what was my mind in the process? You was thinking, well, did I fall? You didn't think where my mind was at. You know, we don't, it takes an imbalance for, we don't just stumble every day. What you saying?
And I can tell you, you know what? You know, and it's interesting that you said that because I remember the exact moment, man. We had pulled up. We were in Cherokee, North Carolina, and we had just pulled up to the gas station, getting ready to leave town. And I was actually in my feelings at the moment. I was in my feelings. It's interesting that you said that. And when I got out the car, you know, I don't know what happened, but my body said, I'm gonna go this way. My legs said, no, you're not. And from that point, it was like, you know, I've been dealing with that ever since that day.
And that what I'm talking about, where it goes back to that signal. The body didn't get the signal. The signal went somewhere else. Where did that signal go to, though?
It was there. We don't use all of the emotional dispositions that are not fed to us in the literature that we see. Indecisiveness. You are in your feelings. Uncertainty. Questionable discernment. You understand what I'm saying? Like we use we use all that when we're looking at these gateways. We need to start taking a whole self accountability. Anytime you put self in front of another word, I need you to say that's personal.
Facts.
Self is personal. When you look in a dictionary, when you see self, it don't say a group of people. It don't. Right. We need to take the words that self-regulation, self-accountability. We need to make those words very personal and start taking an inventory. Because the little guy that reports to his minerals and vitamins, he ain't coming over here. I promise you. I can do this pink slip every time. It's like, no, I can't. You know what I mean? So when you said you was in your feelings, some sort of your self-regulation, you might have been carrying somebody else's, you know, you was regulating somebody else. And your knee said, I want to go because I'm your knee. And then your mind was like, what do we need to do? And then you know,
right.
You got weak in the knees.
Yeah, weak in the knees.
Right. Yeah. So let's start from the beginning, though. All right. So from the very beginning, I fasted. Right.
Yes.
Very beginning, I detoxed. My apologies. I did a detox, and the detox that I chose this time was, I did Epsom salt, magnesium sulfate. Magnesium. I know that's pretty rough. A lot of people can't do it. It's rough. I'm telling you, man. When I drank it the first time, I literally spit it out. It's disgusting. I tried that. What was it? The mineral salts, the magnesium chloride. I tried that. That's even worse. That's even worse. It's so bitter. But again, you know, I call it the flush because that's exactly what it's gonna do. When you, for me, that's what happened. You know, I drank it. I forgot the guy's name, but he, you know, he gave the what was it, his name? Patrick Delves. I'm not sure if y'all familiar with Patrick Delves. Patrick Delves, he's a herbalist. You know, he's down in Barbados. And so what I did was the protocol was to drink a glass of orange juice to 2 tablespoons of magnesium sulfate, lay down on your left side for 15 minutes, drink some water, lay down on your right side for 15 minutes, and then you get up and you drink another cup of water. And by that
You
time,
basically did that soft flush.
man,
Yeah, I did have the experience.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Man, I didn't know when it was gonna stop. So I kept drinking water. And the more water I drank, the more I kept flushing. It would not stop until I stopped drinking
in that
water.
order.
I had to figure it out. It was rough. But it and everything, you can see the transition from dark stool to everything is clear now. Everything is clear. And you know, prior to that, before when I did a fast, I didn't do a detox. I didn't do a detox, and I could tell the difference when I cleanse myself. Now, when I eat foods, you know, it's totally different. You know,
I want to ask you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
And when we detox, right, we got 12 systems inside the body, right? The major ones, whether it's the stomach, the intestines, the colon, if you follow that pathway of digestion, right? Once you intake that water, you know what I'm saying, and it starts being shifted and regulated to the different areas that it's supposed to go to, right? It takes a lot of stuff with it. It don't just take your bad stuff with it. It takes the extra stuff that's there too, right? So a lot of times when we fast, we don't replenish our minerals. You get what I'm saying? So now it puts the body in the state of fight or flight. And it's trying to defend itself from something that is normally not there. And it's something that you did. It ain't something that was like it came from somewhere else. You get what I'm saying? So now you're sluggish. Now you're tired. You thinking, well, this is the result of the fast, so you know it'll go away. No, it won't. You actually have to replenish yourself. So oftentimes I try to tell the brothers, you know what I'm saying, your minerals, right, on where you get your different minerals from. Replenish your minerals before you fast, or the certain things that you add to your waters, as far as like trace minerals or whatever. So when you are flushing yourself, you don't deplete yourself, because you're still going to deplete yourself, because it's going to take a lot of excess stuff that's attached to it.
Right.
You know, and then I like I said, that's soft flush. You know, I tried it. I was in a predicament when I tried it, and I wasn't in a place where I could get extra food. You know, and I never do that again. I used the warm water kind. You understand what I'm saying? So I totally commend you on that, because a lot of people don't digest that well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It takes more than a strong stomach. So it takes a strong bathroom too. You know what I'm saying? So I know. A
lot of tissue.
a lot of tissue, right? You know, it's right. It's scary. It's scary in a way too. You know what I'm saying? Because it won't stop. It's scary. It won't, like you say, you keep drinking. The more you drink, but then water does what? Salt does what to water? Stores it. It stores it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So in all truth, it's like saying the fastest going, because it's like you pull it in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's a serious thing. And you really have to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, if your willpower wasn't strong enough, you know what I'm saying, you can deregulate yourself. You see what I'm saying? So it's like understanding those processes on how we get from point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen a lot of people fast and shrivel up afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Or a lot of people fast and gonna blow up afterwards.
Right. I want to go back to the self-regulation. The balance is important. Like if you're preparing to fast, then you should already have like think your nutrition all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Like to lose, even if your bowels are backed up for, like, to say you lose your bowels somewhere around day 7, you're just like, I haven't had a real bowel movement. Once you realize you haven't had a real bowel movement, take time and plan out the next 3 days of your detox. Like, you understand, once you lose your bowels, you're in trouble. because all of that stool, that waste, that build up toxins, all that stuff hasn't come out. That's normally when people start to see, especially for women, we start to see like breakouts in our face. That's when we start to, you know what I mean? We lose our radiance somewhere, you know what I mean? Like our skin just don't give off the glow. Don't matter how much shea butter you use. It's just something's not working. So the body from the inside out has already been reabsorbing the toxins. It never left. It's like finding a new purpose for a chair. You bought a new chair. You put it in the house. You didn't know where you want to put it, and it's just they're in the same space. So your new food, your new nutrients, your new vitamins, minerals are stored behind waste. But once you're removing it, you should already know what you need to put back in there. So like Sam said, like putting your minerals back as you're about to fast is very important.
Yes.
But cleaning out the next couple of days after you fast is very much important too.
Truly, you need to be prepared for it.
You go light back to denser foods. You don't really have to, you should never start dense after you fast. You should wean yourself back into it. So soups, broths, light foods. You can cook your legumes all the way down to like mush. And that's how you really want them after a fast. You want them really, really like a mush, like so soft that you almost could just slurp them off the spoon.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because my daughter just made some cabbage soup, and it had some mushrooms in there, had some carrots in there, and I told her, no, I don't want to overcook. I still want them a little crunchy because I like crunchy carrots.
Okay.
And make it mushy so that it'll be it's a transitional meal.
Yes,
the process is faster.
Well, it's not really about it processing faster. That's not really what I'm supporting. I'm supporting the body not having to work as hard to break it down.
Right.
We forget that the digestive system is two systems. It's one to get it down.
Yeah.
All the enzymes in your mouth got to get through your throat. It got to get down here. It got to move down into the chest. Right about here is where we get in trouble. Underneath the rib cage, that's right about where your food says you ate too fast. You didn't have enough fluids in me. Anytime you get indigestion, heartburn, anything, that's normally where your food is in trouble with your enzymes. And it's kicking back up because there's nothing to move it. So it's almost like balancing out your food.
That's what I mean by that process.
And your enzymes. But making it softer, she made it crunchy. That's fine. Take a NutriBullet. You got a NutriBullet? Everybody should have a blender, NutriBullet, something.
A Ninja, yeah.
Okay, we got a Ninja too. But I'm saying, take some of the soup. Even if you want your carrots crunchy, run it through the NutriBullet or run it through the Ninja. As she cooked it, don't change nothing about it but the texture and eat it like that. Just break it back down. Because we get so funny with our food. Like it has to look visually appealing, but it's the same soup. Like taste it. If it tastes good, if it don't taste good, season it. But put it in a NutriBullet, just a couple blitz to make it smaller, finer pieces. So you're not having to chew. And the pieces that you don't chew don't escape and go down anyway.
Right. And in my younger years, I made that horrible mistake. I did a 7-day total fast, right? But afterwards, nobody told me that you're supposed to just take your time and eat something slow. So I went and ate a nice big bowl of rice, but my body was like, you do know that there's no water in me, right? I was laying on the floor hollering, and the elder was like, drink some water. And I'm like, I can't drink water. I can't even get up off the floor. So they brought me water. I drank a little bit, but my body's like, that's not enough. We need that to flush, but we got other stuff that we need. You know what I'm saying? I took that as a reminder. But what I learned is everything in your body will stop. Its natural default is to just shut off. So a lot of times, if the brain shut off, we pass out. The heart shut off, we have a heart attack. But when the kidneys and the lungs shut off, the pain that's there is real because now your heart and your brain is still there, and it's like something is wrong. Your body's like a bag of potatoes dropping. You know what I'm saying? So having somebody to remind me, listen, hey, prepare what you're finna do beforehand. You don't need to be, you don't need to be running to the store. You don't need to be running to the store after you fast. You're supposed to already have that there. You know, it's like when we prepare for our prepping thing that we do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has water when we get where we're going. Why? You understand what I'm saying? Everybody has water. So it's like saying that's one thing that I've seen, that every time we went to the forest or any kind of escapade where we actually traveling with backpacks and stuff, everybody has the water. That's a good thing. Look at the times when we had to purify our own water. You know, the things that we was using to purify the water with was mineral salts.
Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, it's like it's a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying? Being able to understand when I say those processes that trail that actually go from point A to point B, and it's a lot of things that's attached to it. Now we're in the process of this awakening mind journey, and we're going inward. We've been living our lives going outward, no better job, better car, better. So it's like now, okay, we don't did it. We don't understand that process. Now we got to go inside to make that outside look a bit more beautiful.
The only problem with that, the only problem with that is we've already used up a lot of it. If you're over 25, you pretty much, if you smoke, if you drank, if you've had any of the horrible habits, we've already used up, let's just say 50% of what we was given from birth. If we was given it completely, we've already used it by 25. It don't matter what you ate when you was a kid. You can hold on to all your zuzus.
So you know the body got a prep and storage too, right?
It doesn't.
And on a cellular level.
No storage.
No, on a cellular level. The information is there. You got 14 billion cells that got all this information in there, right? And a lot of the places you don't put blockage in front of all of it because of how you said when we was high, we was drunk, we was smoking, we was, you know what I'm saying? We got mental blocks, triggers, all this stuff that's going on. We got to move all that stuff out the way. It's like opening up your refrigerator. You got a whole bunch of candy, right? You got a whole bunch of zuzus and wham-whams in your refrigerator, right? But then you got to move all that out the way to get to the lettuce. Get to the tomatoes, get to the things that's better for you. We don't put all that stuff in front of us. You know what I'm saying? The high cholesterol pizza that we didn't eat last night, high cholesterol chicken we didn't eat last night. You know what I'm saying? All that's sitting in the front of the refrigerator. We got all the wine, the beer, and everything else in the front. Well, the orange juice, the water, and everything is in the back. We got all these things that's in front of us that we have to remove, right? But these are things that are in front of us that we like, though.
Right.
Like you said, everything that we're dealing with now that we don't like, you know, it's the bitter herbs, right? The bitter herbs for healing. Ain't that what the narratives say? Right. The bitter herbs for the healing. Everything that's funny that's better for you is bitter. Who told us it was bitter? Because we got babies that eat this stuff like it's good,
Right.
So at what point did it go from like kids eating, you know, I didn't eat beets till I was close to 50. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? It tastes like blood. It's like, you know what I'm saying? But then looking at the benefit, I'm like, why didn't I eat these when I was younger? You know, so why didn't I eat these? You know what I'm saying? Like, really? Why? Like the smell? I don't know. You know, I still don't like avocado, right? Why doesn't this have a taste to it? You know what I'm saying?
Does have a taste to it.
It tastes like nothing, you know. So
does not.
You got to season. You got to do something to it. You can't just pull it out the tree.
Yes, you can. He doesn't like avocado. Let's just say that for the record.
Listen, the texture.
I will kill a bag of avocados.
Yes,
it's mushy. It's mushy.
But you got to put that. For me, I put a little oregano, some parsley, and I put a little bit of garlic salt on that thing. A little cayenne pepper. It's a wrap.
My norm is put a whole bunch of hot sauce on it. You know?
No. And I don't need the salt.
Right.
I can do the cayenne, the black pepper, and I'm good. And a squeeze of lemon or a lime, and I'm on toast, quinoa.
On quinoa?
Brother.
Okay.
Man, listen, instead of grits, I like grits. I'm from Louisiana. You know, we stigmas about our grits, but I cannot eat those every day, and I love them. So I swap out my grits craving for quinoa, and I have quinoa in the morning. And so cheesy quinoa, you know, it's vegan cheese, but whatever. Cheesy quinoa with a half avocado, whole avocado. It depends on how I feel about the day. I'm using the avocado to fuel my brain. I'm not using it like a food group per se. I'm using it more like an energy, a way to conserve my energy in a denser capacity. And that's what I was saying about the fruits.
When is the last time you ate a food that you don't like that you know is good for you?
I eat them regularly. I'm not really fond of Brussels sprouts, but
no, because it's like saying it's like
potatoes. Tomatoes.
You don't like tomatoes stuff?
Only like when I was eating burgers, I would eat a tomato. Sometimes on a salad, just depends. But just
you do know tomato is a fruit, right?
People say that.
If you buy the tomato and it's not mushy, right? Most of the oranges, like the orange in color texture, right? The brighter tomatoes are actually sweet, right? A lot of times, like we have gardens in different places on my job, you know what I'm saying? But I like tomatoes, but it's like fried green tomatoes. What about that? You from the?
You know, my wife was supposed to have made some, and for some reason we didn't get to it.
Save the tomatoes. Save the tomatoes. It's not worth it.
What about okra? When the last time you ate okra?
Oh, we just bought some today.
Yeah, the okra.
If you get a chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you see how the fennel tree is growing in my backyard?
Yep.
Okay, look at the fennel. Look at the long list of the benefits behind Twitter. But the biggest thing that it benefits is the respiratory system. And it we take the fennel out there and just sprinkle it in your salad, sprinkle it in your food. Oh, you know, okay. Just like parsley, just like barley, just right. Okay. And what happens is it gives you those minerals. Those minerals they're real tough inside the fennel. Fennel is one of the 7 elixirs. You know what I'm saying? But okra is too, though.
I saw a lady on YouTube drinking okra water.
Okay, so infusing, we're just dropping whatever you want, just dropping it in water, infusing. See this? This is cucumbers.
Okay.
I got a massage yesterday, and I'm trying to keep my you know what I'm saying, keep everything moving. And he's having orange peels and cucumbers as well, but he had a little stint where he had to go, and so. Yeah, but it's just anecdotal. These are anecdotal methods that you just incorporate for the same purpose. You may not want to just drink after your fast. You may not want to eat all your fruits. You may want to actually have several bottles of just water infused fruit, water. Instead of trying to eat it, just infusing your water.
So you still get your minerals.
You still getting them, and you can eat some of the fruit later. Like we have a habit of like making things wasteful. You know what I mean? Like we just peel things and throw them away. Some of it you can infuse. Just if you don't like to eat the skin of the cucumbers, infuse your water with it. Don't let nothing go to waste. Right. And then you compost it, because I know you garden over there. You're compost the rest of it, because it's never been cooked. Your composting has to be your raw stuff. So just take it.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's interesting that you had said that about the composting and you utilizing everything, because like when I do juice, you know, that pulp that's left over, I'm like, I was throwing a lot of that stuff away. You know, I was throwing it away, and come to find out, you know, with the when I was making the cashew milk, I didn't know I can use that to make like cheese and stuff like that. You know,
so what is the compost?
The compost. What is compost?
Yes.
The compost is the byproducts of the stuff that you don't eat, like the tops of the strawberries or the tips of the lettuce, tomato.
So the reason I'm asking that question, right? Because inside your body produces a compost too. The food that you eat, like I said, all the minerals are sent elsewhere, but that extra stuff, right, that they call waste, it's not just mere waste. There's a lot of still minerals that's still in there that even those compartmentalizations inside your stomach, inside your colon, they have to where they still absorbing that. Right. And when it becomes too much, it becomes toxic. Right? You understand what I'm saying? It's not become toxic like it's too much. It's too much, but then anything that's too much becomes adverse, right? You see what I'm saying? So now you got a backed up colon. Right. You got a backed up colon. That means your intestines are taking a hit. Your stomach is taking a hit, but your purifiers, your pancreas, your liver, your spleen, they're taking a major hit. But guess what, though? The process is going all the way up, right? Your thalamus is taking a hit.
Oh, yeah.
Your thalamus is taking a hit. So what I'm saying, those impulses, these parts of your body in the lower regions, right? They're receiving directives from up top.
Right.
You understand? So they're receiving these energy pulse. Every time they get an energy pulse, they go do something. They go put some work in somewhere, right? So when they get clogged up down here, it's clogged up here first. Maybe there's emotions in a way or triggers in a way. Yes, overexcitement, temperamentalism. These things are taking place up there too. In other words, there's no peace in heaven, right? If there's no peace in heaven, there's not going to be no peace in hell.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? So in understanding that process, we've been for the last 20, 30 years working on our hell, right? Trying to make it heaven. So now in this awakening process, now we're trying to go up top and make heaven a little bit more peaceful by regulating it. You understand what I'm saying? So,
And so tell me a little bit about the book that you wrote, Awakening Mind.
Awakening Mind came about as of course, you know, it's a 7-book series, right? But the first book itself, right, was dealing with years of observation for myself, you know, my health, my family's health, other countries I've been to, you know what I'm saying, and looking at how we've taken a hit psychologically. We could sit and say, yeah, the Willie Lynch letter was bad. We could say that, right? But it's not that simple, right? Because in order for me to subdue you physically, that means that mentally I got to get you too. I don't, your fight or flight is like broken. So a lot of times we're thinking that this person just don't whoop me and I'm done. No, there's a lot of other areas inside you. And I had to start looking at that. When I wrote Equilibrium, Art of Mastering Self, I had to look at that like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me I'm missing? I thought that this person was acting like this because they just messed up. They got a mineral deficiency. You mean to tell me if I'm missing calcium phosphate, I'm gonna be anxiety, temperamentalism. I'm angry all the time. All these things take place too though when we don't eat right. When we're lacking in that department. Nobody told us that. Sometimes, you know, we thought that, you know, this person got an evil spirit inside of them when they missing some stuff. Right. It's how you say, right. It's not in the book like that, right? You know, it's like how do we combat that part? Because look at what's going on in the inner city, right? Even with our children, look at their behavior. I mean, like I say, I'm a 70s baby. You get what I'm saying? So in understanding that, right? We took a big hit. Yeah, we the drug era and everything else, right? But look at our children. That's what did we not fix? What did we not fix? But you can't fix something with something that you don't have. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? We're waking up trying to fix things while we're waking up, not understanding that we're steady. We're missing, you know, it's supposed to be 10 things. We get 5. Mm-hmm. You know, and the kid come out missing a finger, you know what I'm saying? Oh God, he's missing a finger, you know what I'm saying? But just understanding that what is being whole? How can we be whole moving in halves? We have to further evolve cognitively. We have to evolve. We say spiritual, but spiritual is just it's a how you say. I don't like using that word religious, but that spirit is just a word that we use in science for consciousness. Mm-hmm. Just like we say mental, when they people we have been taught mental, it's just psychology. We've been taught physical, it's just biology, anatomy. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times we go in this direction of preconceived notions that we have. These preconceived notions make us behave certain type of ways where we misunderstand or miscomprehend them. So now it's like saying, in Awakening Mind and writing, it's like saying how these processes inside the body that we are ignorant to, right? Right. How do we actually go inside it? So it's like spending years of being a guinea pig to myself. Let me say, I can't do that no more. You understand what I'm saying? Why did I feel that way? You know, and jotting my notes down and looking at the results of them, looking at, okay, let me work on this right here and see how my children are going to turn out. And then look at Mustafa. You understand what I'm saying? Understanding, well, wait a minute. It does work. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? It really does work. You mean to tell me so that higher state of consciousness that we're trying to achieve, we've been given this fairy tale of the highest thing that we're supposed to be is this. It's the Superman with the cape, the Wonder Woman, the Batman. We've been given these ideologies and not understanding the strength of our own selves. We think we're supposed to walk on water. What's powerful than Superman was my father. Do you get what I'm saying? Right. So it's like bringing back the truth of something in the awakening process, right? Being able to see that process occur. Look at the process that you were talking about as far as like the fasting. How did you feel though?
Good. I'm glad you asked that. I'm glad you said that too, because you know, as you were speaking, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I became so much aware of a lot of things around me, and I could tell just off of self-evaluation that my mannerisms have changed. Because my wife just asked me too. She says, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah," because I'm just so in tune and aware. Like last night, it was so weird. I felt like something hot on my left side. It was like kind of like somebody standing over you, right? You can kind of feel somebody standing next to you. Mm-hmm. I felt something like it was standing next to me, and I turned and I looked, and it wasn't anything or no one there. But I'm like, holy crap, what was that? And just little stuff like that, man. I mean, just to even to have the motivation to get up early in the morning to go to the mountain to go and see the sunrise. As I sit there, I actually I felt something, and I felt different, and I felt appreciative of my life. I felt appreciative of nature. You know what I mean? And I gave the Most High all the glory and honor for everything, because this is most important. You know what I'm saying? When you seeing that sunrise, a lot of people not seeing that today. You know what I'm saying? A
Nope.
lot of people were dead last night, and they're not gonna see that
Facts.
sunrise today. So I was very appreciative of that. But I just noticed a lot of things different. I mean, I sleep lighter. When I wake up in the morning, I'm a different person. You know what I'm saying? As a result of that. And it's like, I don't want what I was experiencing before. I
Right
like
now, see, now that goes back to that self-regulation, right?
Mhm.
Getting where we want to be at, right, and evolving and staying there. That's why I said remembering that process that got you there, that feeling that got you there, that presence that you're talking about, that's feeling your own presence. That's called a pulse in your aura. It's a pulse. It's like a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, that's actually a blessing to be allowed to, because we walk around day to day totally ignorant of the things that's going on inside of us, let alone outside of us. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to feel when you meditating, and you got to the point to where when you're meditating and then you start hearing your heartbeat, you're hearing it.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if
It's a scary feeling, but it's like you're hearing it. It's like, but the thing about it is, I've heard tales with brothers that go deep in nirvana studies and stuff like that, being able to actually go inside. You feel your heart, you feel your kidneys, you feel, and believe it or not, in feeling those things at that moment, you talk to them. It's like talking to your water. You understand what I'm saying? When talking to your water, what you're doing is you put energy in your water. You know what I'm saying? So do you talk to yourself the same way on a consistent basis? That's what I'm saying. That willpower, that consistent basis. How much do you talk to yourself? Thinking is talking too. It's just not talking out loud. So how much do you talk to yourself? We don't. The biggest motivator that you can have on your team is yourself. That's the biggest motivator you can have. It's like saying that person standing beside you, get up. Get up.
Or sit down. No, he said sit down. He said sit down all the time.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, my sister.
having that go-to, right? You know what I'm saying? You got three different aspects of yourself. We say spiritual, mental, and physical, right? All three of these components, right, together, right, they make a fourth. They make a fourth component. We call that ether. The totality of yourself, the totality of your being, right? To be able to operate in all three of those simultaneously, that's holistic. You understand what I'm saying? Oftentimes, we on this spiritual thing, you know what I'm saying, but we deal with some physical stuff that's just not right. You understand what I'm saying? Or we on some mental type stuff where you're doing some spiritual things that's not right. You understand what I'm saying? So, but that's not called holistic. That's called optimistic. Optimistic is having all three present, but doing them individually. And sad to say, a lot of us operate from an optimistic standpoint, perceiving that we're operating from a holistic standpoint. And because of that, when we do our studies and we looking, how you say, I'm studying and looking up the word cat in English or dog in English. Just say I'm looking at the word dog in English, but in Aramaic, it means fish. You get what I'm saying? Dog means fish. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So in Chinese, it means something else. So like I said, I'm looking at one thing, there's one way, but in my studies, preconceived notions of the things that I've experienced, the things of my life, we don't want to step outside of our comfort zone and try to be better than what we are now. In order for you to be better than you are right now, you're going to have to become something that you're not right now. We have to evolve. But that evolving works better when it's self-regulated rather than somebody whipping you into being better. Right. You get what I'm saying? Because somebody I had to punch my own self in the head. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot better than that. You know what I'm saying? Being able to regulate, guide, or develop your own self outside of environmental factors. Because when the environmental factors do it, you got triggers attached to it.
Yeah.
You literally got triggers attached to it. You know, we can sit and say that we don't evolved a long way from working on the plantation, right? But when I look at today in society, how, you know, we working on bigger, better jobs. You know, we're working in a bigger, vast of areas of employment, but the house took a hit. You see what I'm saying? The very fabric of the nuclear family took a big hit in this progress that we were, this dream that we were given, this progress, because this progress is hopefully individualistic. We thinking that it's not, but then when you look inside the household, is everybody go for self.
Right.
No matter how much we sit and say differently, the truth of the matter, the reality of it, you know, it's not about, well, you talk about something and you make it happen. I'm talking about the reality of what's transpiring around us. We got bigger issues. You know, a brother asked me the other day, you know what I'm saying? How do you manage to get up every hit you done took? With being shot, then stabbed, shot down in helicopters. How did you? I said, I didn't. I just didn't think about it anymore. So you get what I'm saying? You have to be better. You have to be better. I wanted to be a better husband, a better father, a better brother. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's the only way that I can actually, my immediate environment, if I change me, I change my immediate environment. As an individual, collectively, we'll change a whole community. Consistently, we'll change a whole globe. It has to start inside you. It has to start inside you. We can no longer saying that we're waiting on something to fall out of the sky, because we've seen the end result of the waiting game. We've seen it. We've seen it. We've lived it. Our parents lived it. Our grandparents lived it. Our great-grandparents lived it. You know, so now it's like in that awakening mind process, awakening mind sits rooted. It's like, in a nutshell, when we transmutation is changing one thing into a better thing. So the awakening process is looking at yourself now before you start working out, right? And that process that you go through, the mental part of it, right? Okay, you know, now you're looking inside the mirror, you're seeing your muscles start to form, right? You're seeing it, you know what I'm saying? You're getting proud. You understand what I'm saying? But nobody sees it like you see it, because they don't feel it like you feel it. Right. You understand what I'm saying? The sacrifice that you had to make, because you had to give up space to actually do what you wanted. Whether it was going to school, going to work, but that's a sacrifice that's there. The greater the sacrifice, for the greater good, though. A sacrifice should only be for the greater good for yourself. It should only be for the greater good of yourself. You can sit and say, it's like somebody say, well, man, if I had, I give you my last. I don't look at it like that. I give you half of my half. Right. You understand? I give you half, because that's not realistic, because now I ain't got nothing. You know, we thinking that we've been taught these preconceived notions, and we've been living up to them, thinking that that's being a real man. You know, we can sit and say that, right? But peace didn't come with it. Right. You know, peace is by far the highest quality that a being can possess. Peace is. We've been taught other things: love, joy, happiness. We look for all of these things, right, without looking for peace first. And because of that, the love is tainted, the happiness is tainted. You understand what I'm saying? Because what are all of those things without peace of self? Because the first time something will happen is shattered. Right. So awakening process, the awakening mind, right? The spirit itself, or the consciousness of the person itself, right? You know, it's it's the closest thing to the ethers, right? It's attached to the ethers. It's like a energy field, right? That's attached to everything around it, right? And then you have your mind, but then you have your body, right? But looking at the process inside the womb, the spirit of the person and the body of the person, once they come in contact, they create. There's a what we call a big bang that occurs, right? Where the merging of two opposite polarities merge, right? And they create a third entity. That entity we call mind. This is the point that people don't understand. We're thinking that mind is like something like it's just, no, mind dies. The part of us that we call spirit is attached to the source of life. It's not going anywhere. The parts of us that we call physical, the elements, it go right back to the elements. Mind is the only thing that resurrects or dies. So the process of us evolving, right, evolving into a higher state of mind allows us to transmute, or what we say, take with us the highest qualities of ourselves. This is the process that we need to achieve, because we living in a society now. We got robots that don't have those three qualities. They just have the physical quality. And it's like we talking to some brothers, even talking to like law authorities and stuff like that. We heard tales about, how to deal with robots and stuff like that. That you can't kill a robot. You can't destroy it. You can shut it off, but it's not even alive. But you are alive. So be alive.
It's interesting that you said that about being alive, because what I also came to understand is that along with the AI discussion, which we will have on another day, because that's heavy itself, right?
Yes,
and
it
I'm
is.
gonna have to deal with that, because just today when I was logging into my Google, it asked, did I want to be able to access this new AI search thing?
Oh, right. And I'm like, no, I'll use my dictionary.
Hey, but I'm tell you something. Anything, right? Anything used for the benefit of the good, right? Is different, right? But ask yourself this: the greatest architect, whatever name we want to use to call the source of life, right? The first AI that they created was the spirit.
That's cool.
Looking at what the word artificial intelligence means after the spirit inside the body.
For AI. I don't want AI doing nothing else on my cell phone. I'm tired of trying to figure out how to use my phone that I'm paying for, because AI wants me to do it the way that it operates. I'm not okay with it. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said that, though.
Technology is going to do everything for us, right?
No, it's going to do everything you allow it to do.
Right.
And it's kind of like, when I went to we went to the farmer's market to grab a couple things, and they had the section of seedless watermelons and seeded watermelons. And I'm thinking to myself, right, because I love the Torah, I love the Bible, you know what I'm saying? And so when it tells you that the fruit, every seed bearing fruit shall be your meat, I believe that's the text. But either way it goes, is you still got to understand is what people got to understand is that DNA inside of that seed is what brought forth that fruit. Same thing.
No. Listen. Sorry to interrupt. Stick up. So if I'm eating something, right, that has no reproductive energy in it, right? What is it going to do to my natural reproductive self?
You see?
Do you understand? So like I said, let's just go to the science part of it. Let's just go to the science part of it. On the things that we consume, are actually inside of our body as well. The same process is inside the fruit and inside of us. So now our reproductive system is going to take a hit. We got the terminator seeds. The terminator seeds are what planted to make the tree grow and only grow one season, and it don't have season. It's called terminator seeds. You can Google it. It's called terminator seeds. You know what I'm saying? They use it they say control the market, you know what I'm saying? Because now we live in a time where everybody can grow their own food. If everybody starts growing their own food, the supermarket, we don't have no reason for the supermarket, which is not true, but because there's always going to be a bartering system, right? So looking at that, look at your oranges. You got your black oranges now with no seeds. They're really delicious, who eats those things? Somebody eats them. Somebody eats them. So, in all truth, right, the people that are less aware. Think about what I'm saying. The people that are less aware or could care less. You know what I'm saying? I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat it. Right? Are gonna take the reproductive hit. Now, look at your reproductive system. Look at the systems involved in it, starting from top down, not from bottom up. All of those systems, and then look at the nutrients that's supposed to be there, because there are different nutrients that's centered around reproduction, correct?
It's going to be a very, if that's the case, then just focus on your aminos. Just eat things that give you the amino acids. You're too old, truth. I mean, we kind of sort of in a reproductive phase, right? We're still having babies. But other than that, I'm like, y'all are going to spend a lot of good quality energy, good quality life energy trying to sort through fruit with food and fruit. Can I be the first to say that we are already GMOs? We are already genetically modified organisms. We're already that. So now, with the awakening mind as a process. Oh no, this is equal. Okay, you got a awakening mind there. With the awakening mind as a process, or the whole process. The GMO that you are, can you figure out what's operating from the mental part, because genetics, we have this thing where it's just like, we don't want to take accountability for behavior. But if our brain is the function or the hub of all of the kick out information and the fluxes of our stimuli and what we need and what we don't need based off our moods and our choices, why haven't we figured out? Why don't we understand how this thing is operating?
Right.
Because it's operating. We got to
go back into the manual. The how you say the
no, we can't. No, it's not a go back.
How you say the factory manual? The factory manual is written inside you.
But everything is inside. Flag on the play. See, this is what I just be trying to tell him. I don't agree, because your mom and your grandmama are byproducts of a different quality of substance that you've never seen. Most of us have never seen our great grandmother. Right. The origin, and this is very significant in a gender sense, not gender as a new gender. Gender is male and female and reproductive faculties, regardless to whatever. Even people that are choosing to have their babies artificially inseminated have to care about the quality of the mind or the genetic makeup of the person that they're using the seed for. They do care about these things. So we have to have this part too be said. You don't know enough about your ancestry to really track everything all the way back to the behavior of your ancestors. The behavior at this point is the part that's making us genetically modified. It is, because we're acting out of character. Yes, if we were born of royalty, we should never accept the behaviors of peasants. Period. You understand what I'm saying? Period. So I'm just saying we've gone too far, and we are already genetically modified entities to ourselves and to our families. That's why a lot of us feel alienated when we change. How do you change when you've always been a part of a tribe and a congregation that have always appreciated you in your lows? And now you want to go higher. Now you want to awaken your own mind and understand how to better govern yourself. Now you want to take your health into a self-mastery and claim rights and dominion over yourself and live better consciously. That's
an irony, right? Because when you actually look at GMOs, right? If I stick my hand in fire, right? Before the thought of me wanting to stick my hand in fire, right? At some point, when I start reaching, right, the spiritual aspect of myself, I don't bypass that. Now, on the way to the fire, that mental aspect, I'm having a fight with myself, right? But once I get to the point to where I'm touching it, I don't bypass my mental defense. So now I got my physical that's there, and it can only hold that for so long. You understand what I'm saying? To where now I don't bypass my physical, now I'm burn up first, second, third degree. You understand what I'm saying? Same thing. You jump in water, you jump off a bridge. The natural defenses that we have holistically, spiritually, mentally, or physically, right, have been somehow clandestinely made inoperative. And so the GMO thing, in order for me to take some food, if I eat poison, right, because I'm hungry, let's just say I eat a bowl of soup got poison in it, right? My natural mind is gonna be like, "Ooh, I finally ate," but my body's gonna be like, "Yeah, but look, bro, there was something inside there, right? That if you don't get help, I'm gonna have to separate from you." Do you understand what I'm saying? That natural defense mechanism.
But I personally think everything does that. There's some things that you've eaten all your life that you just can't eat no more.
Right. So watch this. In order for you to be a genetically modified organism, in order for something outside of you that's modified, for your body to just hopefully accept it, even if it's bad for you, right?
No, I'm saying the other way.
Right. They go back to the candy. We grew up eating candy, right? And it's not good for you.
It's not about it. See, this is the problem. The labels of warning is on everything that you can read and understand. That is your problem. When we consume things for a long period of time, that is the genetic modification I'm talking about.
Yes.
Your body will change to be comfortable with ingesting anything.
That means that your defense mechanism has been bypassed.
That's so good.
Right.
But the point of trying to shift it, at some point, there was some notification like, you know what, I don't really like this.
No, stomach ache. You know what I'm saying? It played out.
Sometimes it doesn't have to be that. Your taste just changed.
Right.
When you did your fast and you tried to reintroduce certain things that you had already eaten, your body was like, no, bro, I don't even that.
Right,
As a matter of fact, that don't even smell right. Like your five senses became very heightened.
Man, listen, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to call you man, but when you said that, it made me think about my wife. She had bought some salmon today,
Oh yeah.
And she took it out the bag. It smelled so bad.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, oh my God. I do not
Oh,
want to eat
Did you
any.
say no, my God?
that's a good one. Oh my God.
No, my God.
Oh my God. Yeah.
No, it was just different because usually, salmon, that's my food. That's my
I
fish.
understand.
You know what I'm saying?
I
And now when I
understand.
smell it, it's like, oh no, I don't want that. It smelled like
Yeah.
sewage. And then
Yeah.
it was something else. What was it the other day? I can't remember what it was, but it smelled so terrible.
So I want to ask you a question. Is that a defense mechanism where the body said it don't want it?
I don't know, man.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Listen, the senses is our gateway to the outside world, right?
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? To the outside world, because it's emotion. You see what I'm saying? Outward coming in. So it's like say you smelt it, right? Smell is also a touch because something outside touched. You understand what I'm saying? Your olfactory. You understand what I'm saying? So now it's like the body like, no. We don't, you know what I'm saying? You might smell fish, but the body smell like mercury. You understand? Fish is heavy in mercury, calcium phosphate, sodium phosphate, and a lot of other things. Who knows where the fish came from? You understand what I'm saying? So right. So
it's so
about that.
Right. It's a bottom feeder. You understand what I'm saying? So when you look at that, a lot of times we have these aversions, but it wasn't us not liking it. Your central system inside you, like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing it because the lungs can't take another hit from that, bro. No more. Listen, you don't want to smoke no more cigarettes, that's fine. But I don't need you riding in the car with them brothers to hide either though. You understand what I'm saying? Roll your window down. We can't take down another hit. And then you thinking that well, tomorrow you got a cold, right? You know the process 3 to 7 days for a cold. We see that process that take place, right? But your taste buds take the hit first. It's like saying whenever you're getting sick, if you drank some coffee or anything, it's nasty, right?
Right.
And you're like, man, this tastes nasty. You should know that something's wrong. There's a sickness
I get a headache first.
that has occurred.
My headache.
You know, and it's like those warning systems, right? The more you accept those warning systems, like stop, which is like flag on play, right? That's how you, wait a minute. My head is hurting, telling me that something is wrong.
Oh, yeah, I already go in.
Something is wrong. So the first thing is you drink some water.
No,
drink some water first. A lot of times I want to pop a pill first, but drink some water first, because if you drink water now, a lot of things, but it's still hurting. Now what? What is the order of the brain when it comes to pain?
I don't go there. I go back to what I ate. I go back to what I got a 3-day recall of what I ate, because in my understanding of my digestive system, in between eating, going back, if I hadn't had a bowel movement, something can be holding. There's a couple of things that just should never be really consumed in the body because of the time in which it needs to break down. So some things too close normally make me uncomfortable in myself. And it's just, I don't know why. It's like either a headache or nausea.
Yeah. Mine hit like where you drunk that coffee uncut the other day. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and that's a process. You're weaning yourself off of it, right? So I'm like, okay, so let me wait a little bit while longer, drink a little bit more water. You know what I'm saying? It didn't go away. So it's not the coffee. What is it? Well, what did you eat yesterday for work? You know all the little noodles that you put together with all the seasoning and stuff on it? You know, it might be that too. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff that you left in the refrigerator that you ate overnight, the bacteria start set in like 13 milligrams per, it's a lot of stuff that's been going on. You know what I'm saying? So, when you was walking outside barefooted and you walked in the grass, well, maybe you got a tapeworm. You understand what I'm saying? That you done stepped on in the grass. It's a lot of, you have to, like I said, those preconceived things, we look at the surface stuff, right? But we don't look at the stuff that led us there. It's like you can't leave breadcrumbs no more. You got to leave little steel rocks. You know what I'm saying? So don't eat them things up after you.
Yeah. But just to recap, man, just for anybody that's coming in late on the live, but I actually lost 17 pounds in 13 days. Went on an all fruit fast.
Way to go, man. Way to go.
90% of it was watermelon, and the weight peeled off. But in understanding now through this discussion, I need to balance this with the right proteins and some other foods to make sure that I am also putting these other minerals inside of my body, because I don't want to deplete those, because again, like I'm learning, what you were just saying. Hey, you got this guy running around through your body, and he's like, hey, here's your minerals, and here's your minerals, but they're asking for 6, and he only has 2. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then, so what do we do? So, but it is great that I did lose the weight, because it actually took the weight off of my knee. Because before, you was like, bro, you got a lot sitting up here. You put a lot of
Hey,
weight down there. You know what I'm saying? So that was really good, because now I can actually put on a couple t-shirts that I couldn't wear before. Yeah. So there's some benefits happening here. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, there is some things that I do need to work on, like offsetting, not offsetting, but eating those foods that are complementary. You know what I mean,
yeah,
to that diet, to balance
for sure.
things out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to offset anything. But also, too, what I did learn, and again, I ain't gonna hold you too long, but was through your book, I noticed that there's a lot of references of magnesium, and another portion, sulfate. So when I was taking the magnesium sulfate, the Epsom salt, as my detox cleanse, I went to research it, because again, we gotta Google stuff. We got to know what we put in our bodies.
Right.
And I didn't know that sulfur regenerates your liver,
Yes.
right? And I'm like, man,
Yes.
I didn't know that your liver is the organ that is able to be regenerated.
Yes.
And it's the powerhouse, the power horse that, well, one of them that, like you just mentioned, along with your pancreas, that filters, and it also, metabolizes our foods.
Yes.
So if
Absolutely.
we overwork those organs, we're doing a disservice to other parts of our bodies as
The
well.
whole body.
So the doctors inside the body taking the hit.
The whole body.
The doctors
in
are
the
taking the
body
hit.
is taking
The
the hit.
doctors and the scientists are taking the hit, right? It takes 365 days for every organ inside your body to replenish itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
365 days, right? So mind you, every time that we fast without putting stuff back, at that 365, and so at the end of the year, we operate with 70% of the kidneys, 83% of this, you know what I'm saying? Without understanding those biological centers have taken the biggest hit.
That's only if you've changed, though. Let's be realistic. If you've not changed your bad habits, if you've not gotten to a place where it's no longer an interest,
Mm-hmm.
then who's to say that you actually made it to 75%?
Right.
I mean, a lot of us over 25, have already used up. We jumped off the porch early.
I bought some more at Kroger's, you know what I'm saying?
We jumped off the porch early. You know what I'm saying? My sister's been throwing that thing in a circle for a long time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The earlier you started, the more likely you are to have used up a lot of your. Yeah. And so who's to say that we actually have 70%?
That makes sense, because the other day you were sharing with me about the collagen. Can you share that a little bit more?
Oh man, the collagen, the powerhouse of the body's structure in itself. Collagen being literally our ligaments, tendons, arteries, veins, ventricles, all of the tubing and the piping of the body, the terminals for our blood to flow through, and our air to flow through, and our water to flow through, and to get to the muscles. The collagen structure of the body it needs to be replenished. It needs to be restored, because it is non-regenerative. And the womb, for all my sisters, the womb is a collagen-based structure. We know it, and we give it all the praise for its elasticity ability after you have a baby. But anybody understand why we still have that extra skin? Why that elasticity of the uterus goes back, but the skin normally stays pulled? Because again, it doesn't have the elasticity back in it. It's only doing its natural thing by drawing back in. But the collagen itself has been depleted by just carrying the child, just by nourishing the whole body as one organ, nourishing your whole self and carrying the life of another has been used. So we have to put the collagen back. I don't care how you do it, but if you don't have it, you can't support it. So if you're going for the vegan route, you might want to find some very, very high quality, dense versions of the herbs to put back your collagen. Because again, if you go look it up, you will find that it's non-regenerative, and the body is made up of so much of it that you have to put it back. The cartilage in our knees Did I say cartilage?
Yes.
Cartilage, tendons, ligaments, arteries, and cartilage, tendons, ligaments, arteries, joints.
Yes.
These are all collagen-based structures.
For those of you that's listening, inside the book on page 146, right? There's several pages just dealing with the reproductive system, right? And how things that we've done to it or not done to it, right, has a serious effect on the mental health. And that's something that it's like understanding, what I'm saying, working with my wife, it's like postpartum, right? I didn't know that was serious like that. I really didn't. And a lot of women now I'm seeing now and looking at it, it's like they're going through postpartum later afterwards. It's like they never healed from it.
Right.
And because of that, it's like I'm going through postpartum now and I have another child while I'm going through postpartum.
But menopause too.
Yeah.
Not just separate it, because you have to, for women.
No, I'm talking about being like saying going through postpartum depression, right? And getting pregnant again while you're in it. And the hit that the child takes, the mentality of the child.
Have it.
Right.
You don't have it, you can't reproduce it.
Right. So it's like you can't get what you ain't got.
Right. You can't get what you ain't got, and you can't reproduce what you ain't got. And so a lot of kids, a lot of these angry little disgruntled 80-year-old babies we see, that's because their parents parents didn't have it to give, and their ancestors have tapped in, and we can see it. Because some of these babies look old.
Now, brothers, right? We look at the postpartum of the women, right? When you actually look at, before you look at what I'm telling you, go look at postpartum and what it does, how it affects the man or the woman, right? Don't you know that men have it too?
Oh.
And it's like, it hurts us in a far worse way, right? Because it hurts us to the fact of where now the children that we have, while we having it, right? Having autism, coupled along with mental deficiencies, autism, diabetes, it's on us. It's literally on us because we're missing some stuff mentally and physically, but mentally most, right? And because of that, it's manifesting. It's like me using a term, right? There's nothing more powerful for a toxic and negativity to give birth to than to be born into a child that was innocent. You understand what I'm saying? And the vessel used for the delivery is us. So we can't say, well, this woman, look, stop blaming her for a minute, right? And let's fix us first. Because in order for me to be able to say anything about, I gotta fix me. Because the universe works like this. You can't utter a truth about somebody else, right? Without that energy leaving from you and coming back. When it come back, you should be where you're supposed to, or you're gonna hit too. There's no empty spaces. There's no empty spaces between words. If you look at a whole sentence of words, you'll understand if you actually take the words and change the color and put them on a black, there's shapes in between every letter. You need to start learning to read what those say too. You really do. I mean, and I really mean that because there are words there too. How you say letters are shapes and symbols and signs, right? They make sounds. Find out what those sounds are too.
Before we get off into metaphysics, because it's so long the other day, a whole nother subject, a whole nother level of life. The biological substance of a man stays in a woman. And I just seen this. The biological substance, and you can Google it. It is Googleable because that's where I saw it. The Google God, right? The God of Google. But it said that the biological substance of a man stays with a woman 27 years.
So you mean to tell me why she's trying? No, I'm just there.
No. I need everybody to process that.
Can you get rid of it?
You can Google it. No, listen to me. When the Bible, DNA, right? Everybody talking about DNA upgrades and this and the third. Have you ever considered the fact that a person who has multiple children by multiple children is carrying the biological DNA substance of somebody else just because of reproduction? The reproduction between me and him, we use our stuff to make the placenta for our child. The placenta is 50% of the man's biological substance. We use that to make our children. Our son Mustafa is one child.
Let's stop right there. Listen, you see how the 50% of the placenta is man's biological
Don't go off in no tangents.
No, I'll show you something. So I want to show you something. In our things that we have been presented socially in the social media sphere, right? When we talk about Henrietta leaks and stuff like that, when all the placentas, we are never included in that already.
Oh,
no. I'm just no. Just listen to me. Just listen to me.
I'm trying not.
No, what I'm saying is this is the area This is an area that man himself need to look at himself.
But the problem is not
placement that he's looking at is a lot more than what he's been taught.
But these are the things like, and this is why I personally feel like you guys, not literally just guys, procreation is something that should be done on purpose. Period. I just want to say that it's done with purpose when it's done on purpose. You understand what I'm saying? Like, nobody should be having babies not intentionally wanting to be with the other person. To know that I will carry my husband's biological substance, which is now a part of my biological substance, for an additional 27 years. Our children will be growing anyway outside of me, but I have to carry it in my own essence. Men can't say that they're going to have to do that. And it's not to separate it. It's just that if you want me to love you more and I'm carrying your biological substance, we have to grow in a capacity that we want to do it on purpose. We want to be together. Right. The distance, the length of what we're doing, we want to do it for real, for real.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because it's how do you get 27 years back even after you got a kid, just for yourself? The kid is being born after, whatever length of the pregnancy goes. I can't put a finger. I mean, we know it's 9 months or 10 months in my world to have a baby from the first moment to birth. But reality, the baby's going to be born out.
Right.
And it's going to grow separate. And I'm still going to have to carry your biological substance for 27 years. Yeah. Google it.
Yeah. Keep building on that. I'm going to be right back, but keep building on that.
Absolutely. But it's a real thing. But I do support your efforts in letting the brothers know. I feel like that is something that needs to be taught. It is self-mastery, maybe equilibrium, self-masters edition. You know what I'm saying? I always want to amplify your substance.
Right. Matter over mind. Right?
I don't know if that's matter over mind.
Yes.
It could possibly work.
The energy functioning and a pattern becomes matter. That's all life. Matter and energy are interrelated.
But I'm talking about the physical manifestation outside of that. The physical manifestation. So
it's a whole chapter.
Okay, cool. Well, that needs to be spoken about. But does it express the DNA part?
Yes, that's the part I was actually going through from the whole reproductive system.
Because it needs to be spoken. When I seen that, it said what did it say? How long does your baby daddy? And I don't know why Google got us ratchet. Why does Google got us so ratchet? When I looked and seen it, I said, how did it get on my screen like that? And then I didn't type it in that way. It was just one of the little drop down questions. Maybe Google gets it all the time. I don't know. It's populated.
And see that even skin-to-skin contact.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Protection of vitamin D production. You know what I'm saying? In the skin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I went when I was looking at the body, like, I'm like, okay, well, this right here says, well, got to make sure this right here. Well, what is this made of? Where did it come from? I got to put that.
But you know that Fatima's bow-leggedness is not from just me.
Right.
It is literally your part too. So remember, when I have my stuff, where it was supposed to be, your stuff and my stuff come together, and the byproduct is our children. So when she was bow-legged, it wasn't just that, mom was weak in the brain.
You know the myth how we grew up, they say all bow-legged people can run fast, right?
Right.
All bow-legged, they don't want nobody bow-legged to play football. You know what I'm saying? So,
you ain't offer us no fruit, brother, for real. So you just
I don't think you want to eat this. This is a bitter orange.
Why would I want to eat a bitter?
Why is it bitter?
This thing is so bitter. I mean, this is like probably about 3 times as bitter as a lime.
But you're smiling while you're eating it, right?
That's
so.
I'm
just saying.
Trust me, I'm fighting it. But this is an orange. It says it's an orange. It's like it messes with your mind because you think it's an orange supposed to have a little sweetness to it, but then it's bitter. Okay. But it's a Japanese bitter orange, sour orange. And I actually, matter of fact, the river over here by my house.
Okay.
There's some growing wild.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I pulled out the picture of this app.
I
took a picture of it and it said it was this is bitter orange, right? So when we was at the farmer's market, I seen bitter orange. So I said, let me grab some to see what it tastes like. And but when I looked it up, they said that this is an ancient Japanese fruit that they use for weight loss.
So what I'm going to encourage you to do is the peel. Go ahead and take that peel. I know you want to eat the inside, but take the peel. Do you have a dehydrator?
I do.
Take the peel, dehydrate it, and then make it a powder. break it down, turn it into capsules. Go and get all your nutrients out of it. You can do that.
Now it's funny, right?
Dehydration is a key to maintaining the nutrients because you don't want to just absorb it. But I mean, I freeze mine and I use them in my bath soaks too.
You know the medicinal uses for it?
No, I didn't finish looking it up.
Indigestion, nausea, constipation, heartburn, nasal congestion, weight loss, appetite stimulation, suppression, and athletic performance.
For us only, freedom is awesome. Appreciate it. Say, I love those. Those are the real oranges. We have them in plenty in Trinidad and Tobago. Put a little raw honey on them. Double healing and blessing. Listen, I'm all for that.
Absolutely. Be careful with that honey, though. Hey,
right. Be careful with that honey.
Because it'll take your it'll take them adrenals. Man, look at look at adrenals and the adrenals are located over your kidneys. Although we want to use everything for everything. If you don't need it sweet, don't put enough sweet on it. Just enjoy it as it is. But the honey has, I believe it's like 19% more sweeter as a sweet because it's dense condensed. It's dense condensed sweet. So we don't need it. If we're using it as medicine, we don't really need it as a sweetener and vice versa. Try date sugar if you need sweet. But if you use honey,
I have some of that.
Yeah. So, but swap out your date sugar and your honey. For things that you really just want sweet, use your date sugar. The low glycemic index is good for you. You know what I mean? It's good for you because you don't have to worry about your kidneys and your adrenals taking a hit versus the honey. If you use honey all the time, you will notice that you're going to get your good, burst of energy like the sweet, but you're also going to get a huge level of fatigue, because the adrenals can't kick out that glucose. It cannot.
Now I get it, because guess what? Before we left the house, I took a teaspoon of honey and oregano leaf.
Okay.
Got to the store, I was perfectly fine. On the way back, I'm like nodding off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it'll work against you too. The body needs to be regulated with what it needs. It doesn't need to be overstimulated with all this good stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So space some of it out. Like give your body something to piggyback on. Like set your regimens.
You look like you just ate a piece of that raw garlic.
Man, that thing hidden right there, boy. I'm saving my seeds.
Okay. I was gonna say get a ski mask and go and see the neighbors about something with their tree. I'm saying they out there on the get the ski mask and go hit their tree up.
I'm gonna go and get some of that tree from back there for real.
Yeah, go for it. It's growing out. It's growing in your soil.
Yeah, I'm walking back there. I see these green balls on this tree, and they got the long thorns on it. I'm like, man, what is that?
Wow.
And I looked it up, and it said it was an orange.
There you go. Somebody got it. Right there. Alhamdulillah.
Indeed, sister, indeed.
Yeah. The pills. The pills are going to be bitter, just as bitter as the fruit. If not 3 times, 4 times as bitter. And
so you can drop the pills in your water.
Yeah. You can just drop the pills in the water, or you can boil them like the person. But boiling the pills is just as bitter because I do that with my tea with my lemon. And sometimes it's the boiling of it is too much for me because it makes it extremely bitter. Versus if I put it in water, the level of transmutation from the water being undisturbed, it kind of allows just a subtle sweet and a hint that infused that hint of whatever the fruit was in the water. That's more palatable. So we just need to learn to balance a lot of this stuff out. Like we want health, but how long do you want to live? That's my question. You know what I mean? How long? Because we're trying to do it right now because we're learning this. Oh man, we didn't know these things. But the long game is what we need to be focused on. We're not gonna make it the long game because some of these herbs gonna take a lot of people out. I'm not hating on nobody, but my sea mossers, y'all need to regulate your sea moss usage. Your trace minerals are not supposed to always be there. You can live you can live without sea moss every day. You're not burning up that many trace minerals depending on what you're doing. Let's look at what the body is really doing with what we're putting in it. Some people just like, well, I do this every day. I do this all the time.
Maximum input supposed to help maximum output.
No, I mean some of it do, but it's eating your bones.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
They start peel over.
When I went to the doctor the last time, well, actually last year I got my blood work done, and I made sure that they did a mineral count on me, so I know what I'm deficient in.
Good job.
Right.
I made sure I did that. Now there's a lot of different tests out there and stuff.
Yes.
I'm sure that we can kind of argue on that.
No, not arguing at all.
Yeah, but the fact I know a lot of people online, if they watch the video, they might have some things to say in the comments and stuff.
Speaking of that, right? Let me tell you something. So you know how we get the alkaline water, right?
Right.
So I went and bought me a new little thing of alkaline water. You know, it's 9 pH, right? So wifey done pulled she don't pull the alkaline tabs out, right? So if these tabs that you buy, they cost like $1 or $2.
Right. No, they don't cost $1. They cost a little bit more than $1.
But you put them inside the water, right? And test the alkaline in it, right? Yeah. So I done went to the store. It said 9. It said 9 pH. There was 3. You have to it's like a 5 or something like that, right? But the overall thing, it was not a 9. You know what I'm saying? It was acidic.
It was a 9 when they bottled it.
Right? Anything less than 5 is acidic, right?
Yeah.
Listen, man.
When that water sit on that shelf and it get hit by that light, all of that stuff goes away. Plus,
I was discouraged. I was discouraged. I didn't even want to drink the water. Maybe I put a lemon in here or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't even want to drink it no more. It's like I came home happy, like I'm gonna drink this alkaline water, boost my count up.
Let's stop. Flag on the plate. That's what he really wanted to hear you say. Flag on the plate. So what brother did was he called himself trying to stun on me with his new fancy water. You know what I'm saying? He thought he was gonna stun on me, and so he was like, "Yeah, I got this." Like he whipped it out. Oh, it's fancy. Oh, okay.
So she gonna pull the book out like, "Let me taste it." You know,
my pH strip tab and dropped that tab up in that water, and was just like, alkaline, is it?
I said, this is false advertising. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my
God. Like, it doesn't matter if it's alkaline or not. They're not going to get in trouble because at the bottling place, it says alkaline. That's what it is. Like the water that I get from time to time, man, like that water coming from out of the source is like an 8.4. By the time I get it, it's a 7 point. It's like a 7.4, 7.3.
Well, to simplify it, simplify your minerals. Celtic sea salt is like the Hail Mary. Celtic sea salt is the Hail Mary. That's where I had to show my husband, like, you went out of your way to flex on me, but I got you, babe.
Yeah.
I got you.
So you put a little piece of
Celtic sea salt in my water, and then I dropped that tab in there.
And it raises the alkaline up.
I was like, see, he tried to flex on me.
Right.
Shame on him.
Well, look, I really appreciate it. This was a really powerful dialogue, Bill session. You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations, brother.
Yeah. And everything that y'all explained to me was. I mean, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna run with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm all about this health right now, and I like the journey that I'm on. You know.
Oh yeah. Guess what I got for you. So we got listen, check it out. We got 100 push-up, 100 sit-up, 1 mile walk challenge, right? For us men. Oh
yeah, because I'm not. Y'all ain't gonna run my college.
I'm on the 30 push-up, 30 sit-up challenge. Now, I can do the mile. I can walk the mile, but 100 push-ups, bro. Like, I'm just struggling with the
10 sets of 10. Just 10 sets of 10.
10 sets. I can do
moderation.
10 sets of 10.
My hand is better.
Me, the brother Cal, REA, Steven, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna run it up.
Yeah, I'm back, man. My hand is better, man. My foot is doing better, my knee better. Sit-ups and stuff, I gotta be a little easy with that, man. But I can do the walk though. I can do the walk. How you plan on doing that? Like just random
in the mornings? In the morning?
Okay, just get.
Yeah, we can live it like we did the other challenge. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can be where you at doing your push-ups. You know what I'm saying? Your walk. I mean, we can live it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you wanna make a page, it's just for that. Yeah, we can do that. But it's like you know, we can self encourage each other and self encourage yourself. You know what I'm saying? But the overall objective, right, is for better health.
Mm-hmm.
The overall objective is better health, better respiratory balance.
Mm-hmm.
If I can just motivate y'all a little more, y'all do know that it is fall season. Fall season is by far the unhealthiest season of all seasons.
Energy pulling.
It gets cold. Energy is pulling from the earth. The nutrients are escaping the soil, so the food quality even gets very scarce. Even though greens can grow all year round, What becomes available is what's available. But the body starts to slow down, and our food choices normally tend to be the heavier, denser.
That's why the workout in the wintertime brings more better results.
I don't know about any of that. Y'all should work out.
We're going to find out.
Y'all should work out anyway, 365 days a year. But the fall should definitely be on your list to get your muscles to work for you for the summer. You know?
Listen.
Everybody
sometimes we're going to be ready. Sometimes we're going to be ready.
Yes, if y'all do it.
Sometimes pill season. You know what I'm saying? Look,
timestamp this right here. I'm running y'all back. Y'all know this is the whole new economy. I'm telling the I'm checking. Listen, I'm gonna be checking y'all posts and everything. Don't make me do it.
I'm not jumping off this train. This train, I love this train. Yeah, I ain't going.
All right.
I'm going straight. You hear me?
Yeah.
My next move after I get my knee right, I might jump on that jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that train. What's my other one?
I got no boxing gloves for 3 people.
Oh, I got some gloves.
Oh, I got some gloves too. No,
I signed up for Mayweather Gym and I ain't never go, but I got the gloves.
Listen, but you don't. I don't know if y'all really understand. Y'all trying to spar. His brother trying to get his knees together, and you talk about sparring, brother. Don't let him take you out. Don't let him. I'm just.
You know, I got the pull-up machine in the backyard that's being used and everything.
We gotta get it in. We gotta get
brother. Trust your sister. Don't let him take you out like that. Don't. It's not that serious, my brother. Yeah. Just know how to fight. Know how to fight, but don't spend your good knee energy trying to build it up to blow it out. Hanging out with you.
She trying to say save the knee for apocalypse.
Yeah, I'm not doing no flips, none of that kind of stuff, man. I'm gonna leave that to you, bro.
Yeah, he can have it. Listen, I'm almost done using them up anyway. Got like 10 more babies and
Hey, I really appreciate it. And
thank you, brother.
Again real soon. All right, y'all.
All right,
listen, looking forward to this weekend, man. This is the first of many lectures. You know, I sent you the roster, you know what I'm saying? We got Emory University sponsoring this one. We got Spelman, we got Morehouse, we got Atlanta Metropolitan, we got Georgia State, you know what I'm saying? I sent you the roster. They have already added it to their event calendars. For health education and practical psychology.
Our lecture is September 16th.
Yes.
Saturday, September 16th.
At Emory University.
So, and time we'll be doing the Awakening Mind. There you go. Alhamdulillah. Awakening Mind lecture. I will be speaking myself as a health educator. My topic is genetically modified organisms. And so I will be speaking about that. And yeah, it's an eventful event already.
Right. Make it make sense, right?
I'm trying to make it make sense. Absolutely. Alhamdulillah. But yes, hope to see you there.
I definitely be there. I definitely will. This is a huge step towards something really great. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
To be able to see, you know what I mean, you guys like, you know, write these books and consistently put these books out, you know what I'm saying, throughout the year, you know, the topics and the interests, you know, surrounding this. So now to be able to present on these type of stages is really huge. You know
listen, I try to cut this. I'm not trying to cut you off, but listen, hold on. So speaking of books, right? So the sister's working on her book. What's the name of it?
This is not
no.
I'm working on my book. Is the sebaceous gland theory.
And so
that's sebaceous gland theory.
What's that about?
Well, I feel like the skin. Okay, so the integumentary system, the skin is the largest organ in the body, but I don't feel like that it's getting recognized in the capacity that it should be when it comes into our health. This man, he's featured everywhere. The anatomical dude. But he doesn't have no skin on him. Mm-hmm. But the skin covers all of this. Mm-hmm. So why doesn't anybody really understand the skin? Not to the degree that we should. And I plan on, you know, from the inside out, outside in, breaking it down and transcribing and transliterating a lot more of what we should be paying attention to with our diet, well-being, health, everything. And I'm using the sebaceous gland. I'm using that specifically to make my point.
Good. Wonderful. That sounds very interesting. And again, you know, and that's something that I'm learning as well, is that a lot of our issues can be seen through our skin.
Absolutely.
And so,
Yes.
you know, that's going to be a really great book, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to find value into that.
Oh, don't even. I'm about to make y'all my guinea pigs right now. I got a men's serum. I need to practice. I need all y'all rubbing weird stuff on your face.
Right.
I got some stuff I need you to walk around with under your armpits to see.
Because you know what, I actually stopped using deodorant for a while. I was using what was I using?
Don't.
Look, it's been listen.
It's the what?
It's been 23 years for me.
It's the what, brother?
It's been 23 years for me.
Bottle, the milk of magnesia.
Oh, okay, under your arms.
Yeah. I was using.
Hold on. Guess what? When you change your diet and become balanced with your diet, right, and accept it, it's been almost like 23, 24 years since I've had the need of it.
Yeah, he doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't want deodorant.
I would like to brag that I can do the same thing, but my diet hormone stuff fluctuates, and so
you don't. My diet. You know, I've been a vegan for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So I can say alhamdulillah for that perspective, but I don't have a need for it.
Yeah, he doesn't get funky like most people get funky.
Wow. Okay.
And I do, but I make my own deodorant, so I have my own little. I can hit it, you know, say once or twice a week if I need to. Just to calm it down, because the alkaline and acidic, most people, we want the alkaline diet to be ours so bad, but let's be honest, we're already genetically modified organisms. So until we regulate it, a lot of people don't know that they actually are kicking out an imbalance. That's what the smells is telling you, that you're out of balance. So for my sisters with the heavy must, you might think it's cute because you're natural, but in all truth, you're really out of balance. Your body should not ever have that smell. It should never be repulsive to the where you smell like a man. Women don't carry that much of an odor. They shouldn't. Not in their natural feminine essence. You should never have to have that. You know what I mean? And it's same for men. Most men that have like that, it's not quite musty, but it's not effeminate. It's weird. It's not. It's the opposite of like fish. It's like that warm meat smell. You know what I mean? That's when a man has the same problem. You went too far on the other end. And the orifices, again, the sebaceous glands, the orifices of the skin is kicking it out like we can't breathe. It's almost like having too much smoke in a room. And it's kicking it out as you're trying to sweat. It's coming out of your pores. And your pores are a part of your sebaceous gland structure. You know, but
this is what we're telling people. You smell like sebaceous gland. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the book. And again, if those who are watching the video, you can get Saram Sahaluddin's book on Amazon. You've written several books. So once you go to Amazon and click on his name, you'll see all of the books that he's written. And again, you got that plug that event one more time.
It's September the 16th at 1:00 at Emory University. It actually be in the Psychology and Candler Library building.
Psychology and Candler Library.
You'll see it on campus. It looks like a castle. You know what I'm saying? This is the first of many professional lectures. You know what I'm saying? Being that budgeting psychologist stepping off into that field, right? It's a good life journey path. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, you know, learning. You know, as we learn, you know what I'm saying, the practicalities that we learn, we should use them to better ourselves and better those around us. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, man told me if I want to make a better world, start making better babies. You know, so.
All right. With that being said, man, again, I appreciate it, and we'll be talking soon. And give me a call later on.
All right.
Walaikum salam.
Walaikum salam.